Hello there, my friends. Welcome to the Glow Up Method. This is the place where we talk all things life transformation, rebirth, living a life that makes us proud. Hi, my name is Natasha, and I am here. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be discussing this part of my story and my journey because it's tough. Today has been a heartbreak day. Like, I have cried so much that not only has my heart felt broken, like I feel like I have ripped like a dozen or more, many more of the internal stitches inside because that motion hurts just like laughing. And so in this way I made this choice, right, to have this procedure done. And while it was medically necessary, in some senses, it's elective. It's not like we were fixins, like something that I couldn't live with, you know, um, but I chose not to. So there's that. And so today has been a real like mental kind of game. It's been a lot of like, my life was good. Like, I was doing my things, I had my routines, all these projects that I was working on were coming into. And I chose to put myself in this temporary, while it may be, state of hell where I no longer have my independence. I mean, I had to send texts to get my computer picked up off the ground. I can't do a lot of things. Like, I'm hungry right now and I can't cook. And I have people around, but they're my kids, and it's confusing to me because all I've ever wanted to do was help them. All I've ever wanted to do was support them. And it's not a common place for them to be in a position to help or support me. I either didn't want it, acted like I never needed it. And I'm really in this new version of myself where I am saying I need help and not trying to do the weight of the world on myself and put myself back. But it feels really lonely and it feels just really heartbreaking. And, like, I got the lucky news. I was able to shower last night. So, like, Chris washed my hair. Like, it just feels so clean. Like, I didn't do like a perfect, blow dry or anything like that. But oh my gosh, just the appreciation to not have like hippie smelling hair, and it's so soft and clean. I like was sitting there in the shower and like on a shower chair, and the water was just beating, down my head, just dripping down my body. And like for a minute, all the pain that I'm feeling drifted away. And I was just in this moment where it was like ultimate pleasure of just a shower, like something so simple as that. And I was just really, really, really in that moment. I did not do a daily dose of dysregulation. Listen, I cannot be shivering or like clenching. We're gonna have to start all the way back. So I am like literally back to my roots. Like, went for this walk with Chris, and he was pushing me in the wheelchair because I couldn't go that far on my own safely. And I was looking around, and they're like, you're at a different vantage point. I'm at a different height and I'm seeing things differently. And there were these trees, these massive trees, but you could see their roots. And it was just this symbolism for me about how, I am reestablishing my roots. I am about to sprout again, but I'm still like doing all this work underneath in order to be the version of me I want to be. And so you too may be doing all this work internally to get to the place that you want to be. And it's not always easy. Like, this is really hard. Like, everything I knew, my dance, my independence, like the ability to like just run into the bathroom, the ability to run, the ability to pick up a laptop off the ground. I don't have those luxuries anymore. And I say yes, luxuries, until you have something taken from you, and by choice in my thing, which makes it even worse because it wasn't like, oh, this just happened. It's this sense of loss, but I'm also gaining this sense of appreciation for those even more mundane things that I often forget about. And that is this sense of appreciation when somebody does help me. I'm so grateful. I'm just so grateful. So I think, for me, it's a rough day. I've spent most of my morning crying. I have Honestly, there were moments in this crying that I was like, why did I freaking leave the meadow? Like, I felt sorry for myself. I was like, like I said here, I had this kind of near-death experience after my surgery. And I was like, why did I even leave? Like, I'm in so much pain physically, I'm in so much pain mentally and emotionally that like I was in peace. I was beautiful. Like, why am I here? Like, to endure all this pain. And I remember that my story is not done. I remember that maybe not everyone knows how to show up for me, or maybe I haven't articulated that, but it doesn't mean I'm not loved or cared for. And so it's just been tough. It's been really tough, just overall. And your dignity is stripped, your independence is stripped, everything, my strength is stripped, everything that like once was my default setting and definition has been stripped of me, and I'm left raw and cut open, and I have to repair and regrow, and I know what it's like to be on the healthy side, and I know I'll get there, but it's just a challenge in this space. And who likes pain, right? Like, we all want to avoid pain. And so intentionally putting myself in this pain, intentionally showing up for the surgery has put me in this predicament. And so I'm not trying to be mad at myself. I'm trying to say this was my choice. And at some point down the road, I'm sure I'll be very grateful for it. And I'm very grateful I was around a team of people that were able to get me this far, right? And yeah, it's just been really tough. And even, like, it's hard on Chris because, he works all day, and then he is the brunt of the caregiving for me. And it's just really tough. Like, I don't know. I just feel just kind of sad. And so my whole thing here today is to say, like, we're all on our journeys, right? My back is killing me right now, and I'm so sad and itchy that I just want to itch the heck out of myself. And I haven't really looked at myself yet, and I know that there's a couple little spots that are like raw, and I just don't have it in me. I have these drains. I feel so not myself. And when I had read prior to surgery, like, when you're going to go through this, and one of the girlfriends at the gym that has had something similar, but hers was actually way more extensive than mine, but she was like, oh, you're gonna go through things spiritually, it's emotionally, like, it's this whole thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, she's like, you're gonna get down and depressed. I'm like, look at me, I am the poster child of happiness. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, like, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, today was yes, it is. Like, it is this type of thing. But isn't that life? Like, isn't that everything? Everything isn't linear. It's not like, okay, you did this and now you're gonna, no, it's a process, and it's a journey. And today's part of the process was sitting in those feelings and letting the tears out and saying, that's okay to feel this way. It's okay to second guess yourself. It's okay to feel all of that and experience it instead of hiding it away, instead of pretending it away. And, I used to think feeling anything that was sad or disappointing, I felt like that made me weak. And as everybody has pointed out so poignantly, I am strong, I'm going to get through this, strongest woman they know. And I mean, this is the overwhelming theme of what I hear. And I'm allowing myself in this process to be weak. And that doesn't mean that there's always going to be somebody there to catch me or a safe place for me to land, but it just means I'm allowed to feel that. And so if that is the biggest lesson from this loss of independence and learning to become dependent on other people, is that it's okay to be weak. Like, you don't have to always be strong. You don't have to always know the answer. You don't always have to have a smile on your face. Like, it's okay to be you in whatever state of your journey you're at. And so this can apply to you in every relationship, every situation you find yourself in. And at the end of the day, like I say, that I've really realized the root of, the glow up method here is about living a life that makes you proud. Am I proud about the way I'm showing up? Yes, I'm trying to explain. And there's times that, like, my pain is at a 12 and I'm stubborn and I don't take pain medicines and I don't do these things. and I'm maybe am lashing out a little bit more, or like, come on, like there's this sense of urgency, and I don't have the patience. Listen, I'm not already patient as it is to begin with. So learning to have patience and be like, okay, we are day 9, we are cruising along, and I'm 100% better than where I was 9 days ago. And I have to honor that and appreciate that. Oh, I'm walking a little bit faster. Oh, I'm walking a little bit longer. Oh, it's this and that. So I think that as I reemerge as this new version of me, I am very appreciative of the lessons. So what kind of things are you going through in life that perhaps it's easy for us to go down the rabbit hole and feel sorry and have that pity party in a sense for ourselves? Because yeah, like I'm sad, why not? Like I need to cry, and I need to have a place that it's okay to just let that out. I have never been a big fan of crying because it makes me anxious. I don't know what to do. What do I say? How do I fix this? Like, I feel like I need to put on my hat. And that goes for when I did it or when others, or I didn't want anybody else to feel the way I felt when somebody else cried. So I didn't want to put them in that situation. And so I'm just really over here trying to learn, trying to figure it out, and trying to share my story and let you know if you're going through something and you feel like crud and you feel sad and you want to cry, it's okay. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm telling it to myself, it's okay. I sat here bawling on the couch. I sat here bawling in this chair. I sat here bawling in the bathroom today. Like, I've spent, it's like, what time is it now? 12:30, and I have spent 90% of today crying. And so I think I'm cried out because I'm not crying here anymore. But I do like that I have some color. So I'm hoping that all my iron and my supplements and, eating a lot of iron rich foods is helping me to heal from kind of the inside out experience. And of course, like I said here, this healing journey, just like any journey, is going to be encompassing a physical aspect. It is going to be encompassing a mental aspect. It's going to be accompanying a emotional and a spiritual thing. But yet when I come out of it on the other side, it is going to be all worth it because I am proud of the way I am showing up. It may not always be perfect and can use some polishing and things like that, but I am proud of the progress I'm making. And that for you is what my goal is. I just want you to be proud of the progress you're making. I had a conversation, I think I said it the other day with my mom, and she was like, I often text this one person and they don't text me back. So I found myself like sitting there and choosing, do I text them? Do I not? And I was like, here, the situation goes for me is it's not about how they respond or what they do. It's about what makes you feel proud. Like, do you feel good when you choose not to send the text, even though you want to? And she said, no. And I said, well, send the text. It's not about them in that aspect. It's about you living a way in which you aren't filled with regret, that you aren't filled with remorse, that you know you did everything you could in your power, regardless of how they reacted, received it, or responded to it, or didn't respond. It's your job to show up as you, independent of how somebody else makes you feel because of it. I had a couple nurses in there the first day that were like eye rolling at me, that were just like, I was asking questions and they just weren't in the mood. Okay, whatever reason, that's a tough job. They are very overworked. As I've said on here, the experience at Sutter Hospital versus Stanford Hospital, night and freaking day. Stanford was very much like people-centric, and here was like you were a cattle in a herd, and you often weren't heard. And Chris had observed it, and I felt like, oh my gosh, now I need to throttle him. Chris is like, don't ask too much and don't this, and I'm like, but I'm freezing, so I'm supposed to sit here and freezing so that somebody else doesn't have to come and do their job. Like, no. And so it made me want to like push back and be like, no, I'm not going to ask for that warm blanket. No, I'm not going to ask for water when I need to be hydrating and my cup has been empty for an hour and I can't get up and get it on my own. I had to work through that. How they respond is how they respond. If they eye roll at me because I'm asking for a blanket, that's on them. I need to live a life that makes me proud of that allows me this foundation where I am able to propel forward in the safest, most, you know, beneficial way of myself. And yeah, maybe not everybody's going to like that. And sometimes when I'm the recipient of things, I may not always like what people are asking, texting, or doing to me. And that's on me, right? So as long as we are living and doing what makes us proud, then we shouldn't put so much real estate, so much value into how other people are potentially or are actually responding. That's what it is about. And so when you find your why, which sometimes takes longer and it doesn't happen overnight, it's an evolution, and you hear something and you pick up parts of it and you kind of make it your own. But when you create that why and it brings you to freaking cry, you know you're ready. Like, you know you're ready. You know that's what it is. That's what motivates you. That's what empowers you. This surgery here, I haven't really been connected to a why. I mean, part of the why, my biggest why was me releasing all the extra baggage I felt like I needed to carry. And that's great. But I don't think I've gone deep enough. So I haven't had that why to push me through, to empower me, to give me strength when I'm weakness, to give me more power when I want to quit and when I want to lay in the recliner and not move a muscle. Getting connected to my why. So that's what I am for the surgery. I didn't think about how a why is all encompassing. Why are you in a relationship? Why are you a parent? Why are you a friend? Why are you going to this event? Finding your why in all those easier situations, smaller situations, makes it so much simpler to have those conversations with yourself, to find your why in the bigger, broader sense. Like for something like a drastic weight loss surgery or a drastic weight loss program, or a lifestyle adjustment, whatever you want to say it, or changing a career, or ending or beginning a relationship. So I say all this to say, I really do adore you. I am so grateful that you're here. I really am. I really hope that you are practicing, being that sunlight in someone else's life. Even on days like today where I don't feel like I have a lot of sunlight, I really am going to be cognizant and appreciative to somebody else. And I really want to smile at them and say, I see you. Like when you smile at somebody, you make eye contact with somebody, it's like, I see you. You're a person. You're here. And so many times people are on their phones now, or they're looking at TV, or, they're just distracted in their own minds, that you forget how important like simple eye contact is, to say, I love you. I see you. I care. You matter. I hear you. So I say all this to say, please go out there today. And number one, give yourself a big smile. I think for a long time, I had missed that part of it. And I was so happy that I had this idea to be like, yeah, go out there and give somebody else. Like I'm constantly in that default setting to give away, but I forgot to smile at myself. I forgot to give myself a compliment, because maybe somebody hasn't stumbled upon this, and I can't depend on somebody else seeing me, hearing me, loving me first. It has to start here, and it has to start with you. So today I'm going to give myself a big smile and say, I love your perseverance. I love your gumption. I love the fact that, 10 minutes ago you're bawling, crying, and you're on here and you're doing it. So I'm going to give myself a big smile. And then I ask for you, just as I will, to go out there and spread that joy. Give somebody else a smile. Give them a compliment. Make this world a better place. Just one simple free way you can do it. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm so proud of you. I'm so grateful for you, and every single like, every single comment, every single view. I see you and I appreciate you. It means the world to me. It gives me the motivation to continue on in my journey, and it reminds me my purpose and why I didn't stay in the meadow as I was having my little petty party. And to be a part of your lives just as much as you're a part of mine. So I love this energy exchange that we have here, and I thank you so much. So please go out there today and just shine, because you're absolutely amazing, and I'm so proud of you. So thank you so much. Bye.